Yes, ladies and gentlemen, a warm welcome to Steve Erceg up against Alexandre Pantoja, the flyweight champion. This should be a massive, massive fight. Biggest of your career, no doubt. 10th ranked in the flyweight division, taking a few people by surprises. Did this one take you by surprise? How did the fight come about?
Yeah, it definitely did. I expected there'd be quite a few more people ahead of me that would get a shot. Yeah, the way it sort of came together was all the guys that are ahead of me, except for Mikhaev, were injured or had already fought or missed weight and all that stuff. So it really came down to who performed better at the Vegas show, and my performance. I finished match nil, and Mikhaev had a tough outing, so they gave me the opportunity.
You have, well, how would I describe it? You've been a champion twice outside of the UFC, so you know what it takes to win a world title. How much is that going to put you in good stead? Of course, the UFC is the UFC, but having been there and done it and worn belts, that must make a difference.
Yeah, I mean, I imagine there is a little difference. Yeah, like I know that I can rise to the occasion, I guess. But yeah, winning a world title in the UFC is obviously a very different thing, and like the culmination of all my hard work. Winning the other titles is cool and all, but it means a lot less than this one.
So, when you arrived in the UFC, how focused were you on getting to this point, and did you have a timeline in your mind?
Yeah, so because I missed a few years with COVID and the visa issues, I did want to rise to the ranks as fast as I could. I thought I could do it quickly with a few like emphatic finishes and stuff, but I thought, yeah, I'd fight some guy that's not ranked and also having the UFC debut early on in their career, and then quickly work my way to a ranked opponent. And yeah, the way everything obviously happened was I had a short notice opportunity for David Dvorak, who was ranked 10th at the time, won that one, and then yeah, straight into fighting killers. And then I thought, because I didn't finish anybody in my first two fights, I thought it's probably going to take me a little bit longer to actually get through to the top five and all that. But yeah, the way the division's sort of sitting at the moment, it just lined up perfectly and moved straight in.
Just how good are you, in your own opinion?
I mean, I don't think there's any way I can answer this one without sounding like an egomaniac, but I think I'm the best in the world. I think I'm going to go beat up Pantoja, and I think I can reign in the division for a while. So I think I'm definitely one of the most technical, and I've shown my toughness plenty of times. So yeah,
What makes you one of the best in the world, do you think?
I think my work ethic. I've been training seriously for 10 years, and I'm in the gym day in, day out after fights, during holidays when other people are taking days off. I'm here, and I've cancelled a lot of holidays and a lot of birthdays and a lot of different things that um, has obviously impacted relationships and stuff a little bit. Luckily, I'm around a lot of supportive people and they take it well. But I'm doing things to the best of my ability, and when other people aren't doing it, I guess, and that's what I think I do better than anybody else.
You seem to be handling your business inside the octagon, but with the UFC, it's a whole other level in terms of not just what happens in the fight, it's everything that goes along with it. And if you're going to be the champion, I believe there's an expectation for you to be bigger than just a fighter, to sell fights, to make people want to buy tickets, to be a personality. How do you feel about that side of the game?
I mean, I think there is something to be said about being interesting, that's for sure. I don't think you have to be disrespectful to be interesting. I don't think I've necessarily shown myself to be super interesting outside of fighting, obviously, but um, I think the longer I'm here, the more you get to see my personality, and the more people be intrigued by my fights. And I think the most important thing out of all of it is that you can fight, and your fights themselves are exciting. Outside of that, it does make a difference, but not as much of a difference.
How good is Pantoja, and how big of a test of everything that you've been through, everything that you put in? How much is this guy gonna bring out of you, do you think?
Yeah, I mean, he's very good. Obviously, he's a world champion. He's his ground game is definitely uh his best asset, I guess. Yeah, he's black belt in jiu-jitsu. He's great off the back, and I think he's stronger than a lot of people give him credit for. Because there's different positions you see where his opponent will get underhooks and stuff like that from half guard, and you expect him to be able to use that to get up, and they can't seem to find an avenue to move. Um, and then yeah, the other asset I guess would be his chin. He does a lot of things I think that would be considered wrong on the feet, but he gets away with it because of his chin. So he's a great fighter, tough. I'm not going to just run over him. It's going to be a very hard, well fought fight, and we're going to see who the best man is.
Is he the best guy in the division? There's been, we've seen Moreno, we've seen Figueiredo. I guess he's moved up now. Is he the most talented guy in the division, or is he about to face the most talented guy in the division?
Yeah, I guess the most talented probably Figueiredo, even though he's left the division now. He's beaten a lot of guys who I thought were more talented than he was, that's for sure. I wouldn't necessarily call myself super talented, just I'm a hard worker, and that's what I'd attribute my success to, but um, he's definitely got some good genetics.
Who's the gold standard for you in terms of the way they do everything in this sport, in and out of the octagon?
Volkanovski for sure. He carried himself with humility and never backed down from a challenge, and obviously his skills are fantastic. He's a great fighter, and there's a lot of things to look up to in that guy.
What's the response been in Perth, having one of their own in a world title fight? That must be massive.
Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely getting recognised a lot more. Um, yeah, I think Perth's pretty chill, so it's not people aren't coming up to me all the time and going, "Oh, it's Steve Erceg" or anything like that. But um, yeah, you can definitely see the people are excited that a Perth guy is fighting for a belt, and I feel like the Perth contingent has been one of the most supportive crowds and stuff for a long time. So I'm keen to bring the belt back home for him, and yeah, have another Australian champ.
Is something special happening in Oz right now? We've got Whitaker. You mentioned Volk, Jack Della, yourself. Seems to be a lot of talent.
Yeah, I don't know why that is. I mean, I think Australians have always had a good representation in Muay Thai, and they've had a representation in boxing. Like, I think we just like to fight, and that's what you get out of Australians. So you're seeing that in the UFC now, and I think there's a lot more guys to come.
Where's this fight going to get won and lost, do you think, with Pantoja?
If I let him dictate the pace, that is bad for me. So I have to make sure that I take it out of his realm. He does obviously burst really hard when he's going, but he does need those rests to sort of get his breath back and continue on with the fight. So if I can take those rests away from him, I think it's going to be a bad night for him.
How much are you relishing going into enemy territory? It doesn't get bigger or more intriguing than that, really, as a competitor. To not only be handed a title fight, an unexpected one, but you're going to be going into Brazil and fighting a Brazilian in the main event.
Yeah, I'm excited for it. The crowd's obviously going to be very loud. Not for me. They're going to be booing me, obviously, but I've had some hostile crowds before. Nothing to the level of this, but yeah, I love it. I'm going to relish the opportunity, and I can't wait to beat the Brazilian in front of his home crowd and then leave with the belt. It's exciting.
Volk, was your answer for the gold standard, but how much respect do you have for someone like Jose Aldo, and how cool is it for the industry, I suppose, to have him back in the mix?
Yeah, he's one of my favorite fighters of all time. So my coach was a big leg kicker, and so Jose Aldo's kicks to the leg are some of the best kicks you'll see. So I'm a big fan of his, and I understand that he probably won't be a big fan of me at the time, but it's super cool to fight on a card with him, and Yeah, for Brazil, I mean, the King of Rio is coming back, so how can you not be excited?
Do you see this as a Rocky story? If you win the title, like coming out of nowhere and just, I mean, does it feel like that kind of drama to it?
Um, I mean, there definitely is an element of that for sure. Um, I feel like yeah, I don't know. There definitely is that element to it for sure. I people don't really know who I am yet, um, especially compared to Pantoja, who's the champ. So, I'm kind of out. Yeah, I'm kind of out of nowhere, and I really do think I can win. So, yeah, it's what it is.
Do you feel compelled to really go in there and really express yourself, really make a statement? It almost seems like when people don't know who you are, you kind of want to showcase everything that you've done and in that moment. Do you know what I mean?
I feel like whether I'm the underdog or the favorite, or people know who I am or not, I don't think that it changes my view of the fight in any way at all. I'm gonna go out there to fight another human being, and I'm gonna do the absolute best I can. Yeah, the opinion in the fight doesn't affect the way I fight.
Could I have your thoughts on the Whitaker Chimaev fight? Are you and Whitaker on the same management?
We are. I've never met
Yeah.
him or anything, but obviously I grew up watching him, so
How's he going to do against Boers?
I think he's gonna I think Kamar's gonna have a really hard time taking him down, and on the feet, Chimaev does have good offensive striking, but defensively, I don't think it's the greatest. He is there to get hit because he is quite aggressive, and I think Whitaker is just better, more tested, and can go 5 rounds better. He knows how to set the pace right, and Chimaev, I don't think's figured out the pacing of a fight where he can't finish it yet. So I think Whitaker gets it.
We'll wrap up with a little quick fire if that's cool with you. So, in
Of
the
course.
UFC, who is the best wrestler right now?
Islam Makhachev.
Who's got the best hands?
Jack Della.
Who's the funniest?
Um, what's it? Paulo Costa.
Who's the most annoying?
Ian Gary.
Who would you most like to have dinner with?
Oh, Conor McGregor.
Who's the best dressed?
Probably Conor.
Best fight IQ?
Volk.
Who would you most like by your side in a street fight?
John Jones.
Who would make the best movie star?
Conor.
Yeah, well, he's just smashed it, hasn't he?
Yeah.
And
Yes.
who's the most interesting female fighter right now?
Um, I don't know. That's a good one. It's either Wei Lee, just because she's so good, and I don't know. I don't really know a lot about her. Like she's from China and stuff like that, and I feel like that's so far away, and so that's interesting. And but the other one would be what's her name? The judo lady that's coming over, Kayla Harrison. I'm interested to see how she's gonna go in the UFC. So she might be the most interesting as well with her judo background, and yeah.
Who's got the coolest tattoos?
Max Holloway.
And if who would you fight if you could fight anybody past or present in any weight class? Who would be your dream fight?
Any weight class. I don't know. Francis Ngannou. Why not?
And who's your favorite fighter of all time?
That one's hard. I think I think GSP. He's definitely up there.
It's funny when I ask people their dream fight, you know, some people say legends from the past, but most of people say the guy with the belt right now. So in many respects, you're going into it. So Steve,
Yes,
maximum
no, for
respect.
sure.
Good to see you, man. I appreciate it. Have a good one.
Thank you very much. Have a good day.
Nice one. Glad we got there in the end with the
Yeah,
sound.
in the end. Yes,
Mate,
I don't
good
know what
luck.
happened because I took the headphones out, I put the headphones in, I did all this different stuff, and then I tried to get it working on the iPad, but that wouldn't work, and then I just turned the phone on and that worked. So whatever.
It's my first time using StreamYard, so yeah, it's good. I like it. But have a good one, mate.
Yeah.
Smash it.
Thank you.
See you.
Make sure to subscribe to the LowKick MMA YouTube channel for all the latest news, event previews, and interviews with some of the biggest stars in MMA.